Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The CB Show. Wow, I got a really good one for y'all today. I got my man, Mike. Me and him have been working together for about 3 years now?
Yes.
3 years now with, we do stuff with Enoch Baptist Church, media, social media, just video and everything. And we really got kind of close during COVID because when COVID hit, the church shut down. It was Pastor Daniels, Mike, and myself. It was a 3-man show, and I'm glad you're here, brother.
Appreciate it.
And his right hand man, what's going on?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good. So, as y'all may not know, these two young brothers here have a great basketball tournament that's at the Family Life Center at Enoch Baptist Church. And that's like, I kept telling them, I was like, I got to get y'all on the show because y'all are not tooting your own horn enough for all the work y'all do. Y'all out there screaming at them kids, having little kids running plays, that's huge, so I'm just going to dive right in. So how did y'all fall into that?
So me and Mike worked on or over at Enoch for probably like 3 or 4 years. Mm-hmm. I kept going. I taught for like 5 or 6 years. At first the Family Life Center wasn't a thing. So we were always on that side. And, we grew up on this. We grew up in leagues like this with 2 guys that really inspired us. I'm sure we'll get into that later, but they were older, gentlemen. But they had a similar league. And me and Mike always talked about it, like, man, I wish we could do this. And then finally, out of nowhere, we found out that Enoch was building that facility.
Right. And
after they built it, we had a little relationship with Pastor Daniels, and we kind of ran it past them. And we just had to sell it to him a little bit, but it's definitely something that we've been talking about for years. So that's my guy.
Yeah. So the passion, we had the passion for a very long time. Of course, he said that we pitched the idea to Pastor Daniels, and at first he was on the fence about it. He wasn't too sure. Of course, he was familiar with like youth rec leagues, but he just didn't know. And it was just something we had to show him. And that passion, we always loved kids. We love sports. So it was like, why not put the two together?
Right. So it's crazy. So tell me more of the story of the 2 guys that inspired y'all to do this.
Mr. Miltman and Coach Boyd. That's the Aragon Pembroke Recreation Basketball League in Virginia Beach. They grew up. We started playing with them when we were probably I like to say myself, I was about 6 years old. And every Saturday, the energy in the gym was unbelievable. We're coming. It's something you look forward throughout the week. I see my buddies at school, knowing that I play them on Saturday and just know we're going to be there all day. And those guys, they fell in love with the community. They used to pick kids up for practice. And you could say they really cared. And we just wanted to sincerely do the same thing with our league.
Yeah, no, that's exactly, the same, the guys, Miltman and Mr. Boyd. Mr. Miltman, God rest his soul. He's, they just lived in the gym. They were always in the gym. They also had parts of the football side too. So I played Wolfpack. We grew up playing out there, just, every sport. And they just ran the league. They sat back, they ate chicken at the front, and they chilled and they watched everything work. So, we're still trying to get to that point where we can get away from that and chill like them. But right now we got to run it. We're doing a little bit more. So, those are some great dudes, though. They changed a lot of lives. I think that's really like the key piece that me and Mike want to, like, we just want to impact the kids, So when we see them out, they're like, oh my goodness, what's up, Mr. Mike? What's up, Coach V? So that's the part that really.
So I had last week, had a gentleman on that with Touch of Life Academy, and I said something to him. I said, you know what? A lot of people talk about doing stuff.
Absolutely.
But then don't ever actually do it.
Absolutely.
I got 2 more brothers here in front of me, young brothers that's out here. They're not just out here talking about it. Y'all are out here doing it.
For sure.
And I think that was the thing. Like maybe 4 years ago, it was always an idea. Like we didn't know where to start. And having a Family Life Center being built, I think that was a great start. And then pitching it, of course, to Pastor Daniels. And I think now Pastor's starting to see like, okay, this is something great because the community, he's very community based. So we have kids from that Western Bayside area. They look forward to every Saturday open. They beat us to the gym.
Yeah.
Gym opens at 1:00. They there at 12:30 outside waiting helping us. So it's just good to see the smile on those kids' face. And then the parents, of course, they know that their kids are in a safe environment for 4 or 5 hours and have nothing to worry about. So I think that makes us feel real well.
Yeah. So when I walked over to the gym because the church had other ministry meetings going on. I said, well, I got my camera.
Mm-hmm.
Let me shoot on over to the gym, And the lady was at the front desk like, sir, it's costing a amount of money. I was like, wait, I said, pause. I'm from the church.
Absolutely.
I'm here to, I'm looking for you.
Yeah.
But I had no idea that you was a coach.
Yes.
And then, so I see this little guy over there on the far side of the court yelling at the kids. I'm like, Mike is out there. I was like, okay. I mean, you would have thought that you was coaching a college basketball game. And I was like, that's, when you go, if you've ever been to like the Y and you get them volunteer coaches, there's like this, they phoning it in.
No,
they're like, y'all are not phoning it in. Y'all are really out there coaching these kids.
We take pride on it. Just the coaches that we know we had growing up. Hey, granted, we don't get paid for this. This is all volunteer work as well. But we know we have a passion for something. You'll put your all into it. And so we have our days, like everybody does, but we know it's not about us at the end of the day. The kids, they look forward from that 2 hours they with us from 6 to 8 o'clock. We got to give them our all in.
We got 2 5 through 7 teams, two young teams, and 2 weeks they had to play each other. So we had to coach against each other.
Right.
We're gonna coach the same way. And if I say something he don't like, he might say something to me. You know what I mean? We only know one way. We only know one way, and we both played for some good coaches throughout our time, high school, college, everything. So we know what it's like to be coached up the right way. So we try to get the kids what they deserve.
And let's dive into the process of getting it started. Like at what point did y'all realize you need a scoreboard? It's like there's the little things like that you take for granted, but you're like, wait a minute, I got to get a scoreboard. And how much does it cost?
Oh, man.
Like, walk me through that process where y'all said, okay, Family Life Center is built. I now got a gym.
Mm-hmm.
I know I got the kids, but how do I actually run this thing?
I think the first year it was trial and error. We knew, of course, you need the basics of scoreboard and stuff like that. So
scoreboard had to set aside money for referees and stuff like that. We knew like we said, we grew up on it. We knew the basics, but there's still stuff that we have to change. Like we got some good guys with us. We got some good, my man Brad, my man Justin, and they pull up every week. And if we need them to work, they work. But they give us their critiques, like, oh man, like dang, y'all should have had this, or dang, y'all got to do this different. It'll alleviate some of the issues, So we got people like that. But like you said, first year, probably just a lot of trial and error. But our first event wasn't even a youth event, dog.
Yes. Yes.
So our first event, so we really, it was for we had a men's tournament. It was just a weekend. And, so we had to have the score clock for that. But I think we did a good job at getting all the like essential stuff that we needed. We weren't like first year, we weren't like, oh dang, like we forgot to get
basketball.
No,
we had
no.
And we had some good people in our corner too that donated.
Right.
Shout out to our man EJ.
Sure.
I think the first year he let us use a score clock from the Boys and Girls Club, and that was something that saved. If you're in the basketball world, those score clocks are not cheap. So just for him to a lot of people saw the vision that we had and they contributed to it. So we had people along the way donate jerseys, donate basketballs, donate their time. So
for sure,
that definitely helped out.
So now, have y'all had to go on the route of physically going out there to market to get certain items? Like, okay, look, I don't have the money. We don't have the money for X, Y, and Z, but we need this.
Absolutely.
So how did that work? Who was the front man for that?
I can't lie. Greg. We had maybe last week filling up the calendar just to provide for the trophy.
Oh yeah. I mean, we haven't just. Me and Michael figure it out on our own before and that's probably a problem too. Before we like really ask anybody for like help. But I say in year 4, this is our 4th year of having like events. We did our first fundraiser. I don't know why we haven't though. It's like when I tell you how it went, you can be like, well, yeah, I should have been doing these like all the time. So we did a little calendar. It's called Pay for a Day or something like that. And you just set up the calendar, how many days is in a month or whatever. And each day somebody just picks a day and they pay for that day, and it's simple, just like that. You pick a day, send your money. And we told people what it was for. We told them it was for trophies and this and that. So we did this like 2 weeks ago, and within like hours it was filled up. Like it's like it's a couple $100 or something like that, but it took care of the trophies for sure. And but other than that, I don't think we really reached out to anybody, and we need to. Somebody just DM'd us yesterday, like I'm like trying to sponsor, So we about to look for some sponsors, because
so y'all don't even have sponsors.
We don't
yet.
have nothing.
This is y'all two.
It's me and Mike, and then I can't discredit my man Justin.
We have our
my man Justin, my man Brad, and then the lady Miss Jen, one of our
she's cool. She's our
favorite,
team mom.
one of our favorite
plays,
students.
Yeah, she plays a good hand in this as well. She every Saturday, every Sunday, she's there after church, before church, and is with us all day. Because she loves basketball. She loves that environment. She had her own program
and she won't take it down. We try to pair her, She won't take it down. Because she knows how it goes. She did something like this out in Oakland.
Okay.
Yep.
So we don't, to answer your question, we don't have any sponsors yet.
It's me and Mike. We get it done, man. We got camera guys we got to pay and stuff like that. We're like, what's up, man? This is how much you need. Like, all right, how you want to do it? What you want to split it? What you want? You got to figure it out, man. If you need stuff, we need footage. We need all that stuff. So got to pay it.
So y'all have set up the photos for the kids, just take the pictures with the basketball in their hand. Absolutely. And all that stuff.
Yeah. So, yesterday was Championship Sunday. We had a camera guy. We had our own banner. We brought camera guy, took live footage, live photos of the kids. They can purchase it, but if parents want to purchase it, they can hit our camera guy up. So
we got a couple camera guys.
Yeah, we had a couple guys. So a couple of content. We just try to get for our social media page. That's all.
Trying to lock in. I think we're gonna lock one of them in for next league to get him to come out and get some stuff blown up, some of his professional pictures blown up, and sell them to the parents. The parents, they love anything for their kids. So, they mess around and have them on the wall or something like that. So. Trying to grow it, and the kids want to see themselves. They're all about Instagram and stuff like that. So pictures, videos.
So when is the next league?
November. We start back up. Usually right after Thanksgiving. Season start officially underway. First game probably like sometime in January, second week of January. So we start taking registrations from beginning of November to up into January.
So how many kids y'all have this season?
Oh my goodness. We had like 25 teams throughout the
25?
Well, actually, I lied. No, it's like 25 teams throughout the different age groups.
Yes.
I think it was like 5 through 7 teams, 5, 8, and 9 teams, 9 or it was 10. Like 10, and then 5 for the older ones or something like that. So 13, 14.
Usually like 10 kids per team, so you do the math on that.
Yeah. Good amount of kids.
And y'all pulling this off with no sponsors?
No sponsors.
Sponsors, sir.
No sponsors, and we told you we got 3 people that help. That might get somebody to help every now and then, but 3 people that come every week. So it's really it's us two.
A team of 5.
Yeah,
every week.
Now this has got. Now I will say this. This has got God written all over it.
For sure.
Definitely.
For sure.
I honestly did not know it was that big.
It's just okay, and it's crazy because this year we knew it. It had potential, but going out now, we know we have one of the best programs in the Virginia Beach right now. Going on.
We went up to the sports center, and that's a multi-million-dollar facility. I mean, like the Life Center is a nice facility, but you've been over there to the sports center. It's amazing. But it's run by the beach. It's funded through the beach, and we got some of the people that work there. Like he saw his shirt. That's the league. That's on Saturday. Yeah, that's my league. And the dude was like, oh my goodness, like, man, my son goes every week. Like he loves it, this and that. So like to walk into a facility like that and to get love from the people that, so it's definitely spreading. And, we got kids, like the same kids play, but it's just a different energy when you come to our gym. Cause again, it's a little more compact. So yesterday, packed out, no seats.
It was standing
room only, like no seats.
Yes.
No seats, people standing all on the wall. It's kind of, it might be a little, they might be a little too close to the court, but, I can't help it because, it's no seats. So it's definitely growing.
What's interesting, years ago, I used to do I worked with Sports Inside and Out, and they had an in with the people who did the Rucker League and the Baker League up in Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
And so I meet Rucker, of course, I met his son, McCullough, and he was telling me like, yeah, it really just started just because his dad decided he wanted to have a basketball tournament.
That's what it is.
And it just grew from there. And it's like y'all's story sounds so much similar to the other stories that I've heard in situations like that have impacted people's lives. And then you get these big time basketball players that come out of those type of leagues.
Yes.
You know? So
I ain't mean to cut you off. We could probably guarantee you there's probably at least 10. I'm talking about there's
5 to 10. Yeah, that's gonna
play on Sundays, or they're gonna. The NBA is tough, but there's a lot of them that's gonna play on Sundays. A lot of football kids, you know, there's some special talents in there. I'm talking like we got some of the best kids in the area. Like we're super familiar. Like outside, like we wouldn't be able to do it if we weren't connected in the sports world. Like I coach high school. Like Mike is always around. He might as well coach high school. He's at all our games, practices, and stuff like that. So we know a lot of these kids. I'm telling you, we have some of the best
kids in the area.
Each age group. Like we got a kid. It's a lot of them. His kid ain't Smiley. He's probably one of the best rising 8th graders in the state, and he's playing in our league. You know,
Sunday.
You know, it's some special kids playing. You know,
so what is without saying their names, what is a success story that y'all feel like? What's one of y'all best success stories with the kids?
I probably last week just walking, and I'm not gonna say the kid's name, but just walking into the gym and having a kid, not even knowing who I am, but just the energy. I come to your gym every Saturday and Sunday, man. I love it here. And it's the mere fact that I know that kid's background story. It's like, I'm doing something right. Like I'm doing whatever it is. And I still, to this day, sometimes I don't know what it is, but I know I'm running something that's very successful, and seeing the smile, like it's just, it was I had a chill over my body, because I told Greg, I'm like, man, you should see the smile on his face, man. He said, I love coming to the evening. I love the Juuphe League. Like, I love it. So I think it's just for me, that energy and that smile on that kid's face that day. And I see him all the time. He's a local neighborhood kid that's around the area.
Right.
And I see him at the 7-Eleven. I see him outside playing football. And just knowing that every Saturday and Sunday he's in that gym and he's not outside on the streets. And you know that area is not the best.
Right.
He's in that gym, and low-key he looks up to us. Like he loves us. So I think that was for me.
Because a lot of these kids, like they knew us before this whole league. You know, they knew us from Mr. Mike, the teacher, Mr. Greg, the teacher. Like they knew us from that. So when they found out, it was always just love, because they we already had our hands on these kids. So mine would be similar for real. We got some kids that seriously they would be doing the wrong thing if they weren't at our gym on Saturdays and Sundays. They would probably be out doing the wrong thing. Some of them don't have the ideal situations. So it's a lot of them. I could think of a lot of them. Of course, we ain't gonna say no names, but and those typically be the special ones for real. The ones I'm telling you, they're gonna play on Sundays and stuff if they keep if they get somebody in their corner. And that's why we want to do what we do, so we can every time we can get in their ear. Every time we see them doing something wrong, we let them know. We're not gonna be like the people that maybe are around them. Like we got to correct some things, because we see what they can do.
Right. So do y'all have any plans on expanding outside of sports and going into like a, leadership type thing, where you teaching the kids on a mentorship type level?
I would say we do it. We do it now, but definitely we plan on expanding. Everything, we solely don't focus on basketball. We in these kids' lives, as far as, especially our kids, teams that we coach, school, at home life, we don't play that. You don't do what you're supposed to do at home, you don't play. Your grades is not what it's supposed to be, you don't play.
I think that was one of our first, one of the first things that we brought to Pasadena's, though. I think it was like we just told them, like, we're trying to do a lot. Like me and Mike, like we got so much, like we haven't even touched a lot of the stuff. But that was one of the things that we wanted to, create a group and, meet maybe like twice a week. We wanted to take a group of guys, to the high school football game on a Friday night or something like that. We were trying to figure out a van situation. They got one over there, but I don't think but we were asking Pasadena's, like, can we get somebody to, drive the van for us so that we can go to functions, let's go bowling, So we were going to create a group, and we still are, because I think it's necessary, it's needed. So we just got to get back to it. The league kind of been running our life for the last like 2 months or whatever. So
yeah, that's the reason I mentioned it, because like you got some downtime coming, and then you're with the kids every Saturday and Sunday.
Sure.
So what's going to happen After
it's downtime.
After the league is done.
Right.
Absolutely. And we had a group text last night. We hit our parents up. It was the last game. And we plan on doing something with our kids. It's coming up soon, a little team banquet, outing or whatnot. But I know we said we'd take about a week and a half, 2 weeks off. Kids go back to school, and we start getting some things going, though. Because like I said, it's not just about basketball. Some of these kids may not play at the next level. Right. But we want you, like I said, we instill integrity, leadership, commitment, like some things you can control.
For sure. A lot of them, so we're going to try, we're going to try and get a decent amount of them, but a lot of them jump right into football. A lot of them miss some games because of football. Youth football out here is huge. So they're always out of town. So, we're going to try and get them when we can, but a lot of them are about to jump straight into football. And
you said you coach high school football, right?
High school basketball.
Basketball.
Yes, sir. Yep.
So that starts up what, October?
Well, yeah, it kind of never stops. Like we've been at it all summer. We've been in the gym. We had games yesterday, so I missed 2 of my high school games playing in the we're playing in the team camp over at Nova State. They got all the local high schools in there playing or whatever. So and then we're gonna play fall league probably over at Boo. So it never really stops. But the actual season trials are in November.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So now, you've got your season is in the bag. Mm-hmm. Your new season's coming up.
We did. Shout out to our 8 and 9 summer league champions.
Okay. And so now you're taking a break.
Yes, sir.
And November the registration starts back up.
Yes, sir.
But then and you're able to basically doing double time, coaching basketball in high school ball, and then coaching the and that's what you call passion.
For sure. Yeah, it's the kids, It's the kids. It's always been the kids for us. Like I can say we legit. Like if somebody was like, "Yo, we really love these kids." Like we pull up to wherever it is, if they got birthday parties or if it's just we pop up on them just wherever they are, just because we want to make sure that they're doing well. It's just something that's always before the sports. Like we were in these, we run summer camp. We just love the kids. And
it just goes back to, like we said, Mr. Boyd and Coach Miltman. That's what they did with us. Mm-hmm. Like, they didn't miss. If we had a birthday party, like they were there. If we had a football game, even though they coached basketball, they were there. Like baseball games. So.
There's hundreds of kids, probably thousands of kids that could say that Mr. Boyd and Mr. Miltman changed their life.
Absolutely.
We're trying to do the same, And honestly, we probably trying to surpass it. That was 15, 20 years ago. So, all the stuff that we learned from them, and I ain't gonna lie, we probably doing it many, many years before they, like, in our 20s. They were probably about 70,
they were like,
right,
older.
Old dudes, so we got ample time to, just build on it and, we're gonna keep building.
I see this going, big time.
Hope so.
Man.
Right. So I think once people start to realize what you're actually doing, mm-hmm. and then you're sitting down with me and I can feel the energy coming from you guys, sure. And it's authentic. It's not fake. Now, yes, I know Mike, been knowing Mike for years. Mm-hmm. Okay. But it's when we're sitting and talking in a meeting, this is not the same Mike. Mm-hmm. This is a different Mike. So sure. I get it, and when you're working in your passion, that happens. I talk to a lot of people and it's like, well, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. It's like, you'll know once you feel it. Like if you get excited talking about it, like y'all two are excited talking about working with the kids.
Yeah. Talk about it the whole ride here too.
Yeah.
All 30 minutes.
All 30 minutes.
So now what is y'all's vision for the league 5 years from now?
I think you mentioned earlier, expanding. Either multiple locations, because honestly, we're low key like growing out of, yesterday was almost an unfit environment. Like it was packed in there, people standing, people got to stand. So it just finding another location. I wish we had another court or something like that. More teams. We want to get away from actually doing the. We want to sit back and watch it run, So we got to put some stuff in place, some changes that we got to make. After we take this 2 weeks off, we're gonna talk for a while because we got a lot of stuff that we got to hash out. Things that not went wrong, but things that went wrong. How can we correct them? But I would say, just more teams, more kids, growing a program out of it, so that we can, just give kids a platform that we probably didn't have. Like those two guys, they did something special for us, but there's more that, we can do, So
just getting networking out of town. I think this year we've been more serious as far as content on our social media. Yeah. So we've been getting we had teams reach out to us from North Carolina, wanting to play, teams Northern Virginia, Richmond. So just expanding, not keeping it as local, but expanding to a bigger facility so we can get those teams out here because, it's Enoch is big, but it's not the biggest place. And like I said, yesterday was, we finally saw it like, oh man, we're doing something here. Like, so we're going to need a bigger facility sometime soon. And that comes with time, but definitely expansion. Yeah.
Another thing that we talked about that for years too. And it's gonna come one day. Talked about, building our own one day. So I don't know if that's a 5-year goal, but, we're going to figure it out. And we got some other people that want to, kind of join the team and get in the mix. So, we can make it happen. But I also want to stay Enoch, Enoch give us our start. So we got, I want another location, that we can be able to play multiple games at the same time. But got to stay at Enoch give us our start,
Absolutely. Shout out to Pastor D.
Shout out to Pastor Dan. That's my guy.
Well, I will tell y'all this. One thing that you, whatever your 5-year goal is, both of y'all need to sit down and write it down. Put it on the board and say, okay, this is what I'm working towards.
Sure.
Okay.
And if you want your own gym in 5 years, that you gotta put it down.
Sure.
You write it down, then you work on that. Like, and then every step that leads to that.
Okay.
You should have, when you wake up in the morning, like if we're working on the league, what is the one thing I can do today?
For sure.
That brings me closer
to the goal
of having
for sure
your own gym.
Definitely.
And it could be other things in there with, expanding the programs and stuff like that. But you just never know, because you can literally say, I want a new gym, and God blesses you and sends somebody to come around the corner, says, hey, I got a building that I got a gym in there. It's got bleachers, but I had nothing to do with it. Mm-hmm. Hey, do y'all want to rent it for a certain amount? I work with you,
sure.
Or you have all these other churches other than Enoch that have full gyms in there that are empty because of COVID, if they're not ever coming back or they closed all the way down. Yeah. So you just never know until you say the words.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
We want a gym. Yeah. And then just look at how much y'all have done without sponsors.
Yeah.
You have a proof of concept in there to be able to tell the sponsors about. And you said there was a videographer there yesterday. So you already have the footage to show that you got standing room only at the gym.
Sure.
And sponsors want to see how many people is at the event. And it's like, hey, there's people at the events. So you're able to prove that when you sit down and show them everything. You got proof of concept on that. Then you got proof of concept on the results of what's happening with the kids.
For sure.
And then once you start getting testimonies from the parents.
For sure.
And then that's who's going to say no to cutting the check at that point.
And I feel like, speaking on that one, the parents, we have a little feedback. We always ask them at the end of the season, like, what we can do, would you enjoy, would you didn't like, or whatnot. And they shoot it to Pastor Daniels as well. And I think mid-season mark, we didn't even know. He had hit me up randomly and was like, we're doing a great job. I believe a couple parents just hit him and was like, I love what they're doing. My kid's been coming to the practices, he's been coming to the games, and he's been learning. He's been enjoying himself. So just to see the feedback, especially from the kids, but the parents, because at the end of the day, they make that final decision.
For sure.
So having the feedback from those parents, that makes us feel good too. So that keep going. I think we can get this going.
Yeah.
We can get it going.
Yeah,
sometimes we don't know where to start. I don't know. Sponsors is probably a good start.
I can't believe we've probably never even talked about it, honestly. It's
crazy.
Just something. I don't know why we haven't, but because we definitely know some people that probably that would for sure. But I also think that the reason why we haven't is because we just wanted to get it to a certain point first, so that we can have the proof, everything behind it. So now I think we're at a pretty solid place where we could reach out to some people, let them know what we got going on, show them results, and I think it's a good time now. Probably could have did it last year too, but first probably like 2 years, it was we were working.
Yeah. I know. I was trying to get my son in the summer basketball camp, and his one camp wanted $1,500 for 3 days.
Oh man!
Oh, no.
I was like, three days. I'm thinking like I want him in a whole camp for the summer.
Yeah.
I mean, he ain't got to be playing basketball all day long, but he's with somebody dribbling. Okay, we're gonna spend time dribbling, defense. You know how the real young kids, 5, 6, 7, right? You know, then okay, at the end of the day, we're gonna have a scrimmage and play a game.
Cool.
And then after that, y'all going home. Like I get the kid back, he worn out, he ain't bothering me at home. It's all good. Yeah. Y'all essentially did something similar to that with nothing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like so. I'm gonna take. Like I thought of it. Did I do anything with it? No. I didn't do anything. Y'all brothers thought of it and did it, and I continue to do it and changing lives while doing it. So I commend both of y'all.
Appreciate you
on that. So I know that y'all are touching lives, and I can't wait to hear the story 10 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
From the people that y'all are coaching now, and then the maturation of you two from 10 years from now. It's going to be different. Y'all going to be two different people sitting in front of me.
Oh, man.
You know, because you're going to have those success stories. You're going to have those ups and downs. Because it's going to be ups and downs and stuff.
Absolutely.
You know, ups and downs on everything. And it's, I literally can't wait.
I want to go see the kid. I want to go see the kid. I want to go see some college games. You know, I want to
see these kids.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of them that's going to get an opportunity to play some college sports. I can't wait to go watch them play.
And, you know? And I think the difference with us and a lot of, like, I can't speak on other coaches, it's we don't, you know, everybody's what you can do for me. We live in that type of world, what you can do for me.
Right.
We really genuinely want to see these kids succeed. Like, and we don't want anything from them. We want to see you do well because we know your background story. We know your at-home situation. So it's like, you didn't ask to be in this situation. So you to prevail and do well in the classroom and on the court or the field, and we played a part. That's all we can ask for.
For sure. The kids know. Like, you know how many kids we're going to be connected with for the rest of our lives, and because they felt the genuine love since they were 3. You know, like Bond is going to be our kid forever. You know, the kids know what's real, so kids feel. So
this is the first and only controversial question I'm going to ask. It would not be a CB Baker show without a controversial type question.
I already know where you're going.
All right, so you know from watching things where players that play in the AAU league. And a lot of parents are like, well, I don't know because, you know, the coaches in the AAU leagues tend to have an agenda. Like how y'all said, you know, of players, you know, that they're 8 years old, but you can see the potential in them. Like, okay, if I pour into this particular person,
for sure,
they're going to owe me something back. So how are y'all combating that when you're running y'all league? Because I know people come into it like kind of like, yeah, I don't know, y'all hanging too close to my. What is it you trying to get out of my kid? You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy that you asked this question because we, Greg spoke on it maybe last week. I think we're just such good guys, and that relationship that we built with these parents, they really know. Like, despite basketball, put basketball aside, like we'll do anything for your kid. Like, and that's where I think we built that rapport with them. We don't want nothing from them, and they understand that we know what we're talking about. Right. It's not like a lot of these coaches get out there, like you said, maybe the YMCA league or different leagues. It's volunteer work. We take passion, and they see the passion that we have. So once you build that rapport, and they see, all right, it's 2 young gentlemen that's really taking the time.
They know us.
They know.
They know us beyond all this stuff. And this is we're both super humble, but we know a lot of people. So that's one of the reasons why it is even able to work. Just because, like, we legit. It's all right, Mike. Mike gave me the news. Like, Mike called me like, Pastor Dan said we could do it again. You know, after COVID. You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, what's up? He's like, man, I'm trying to have a summer league. You know, and we took like 2 weeks, and we just putting the word on Facebook. That's it. You know, that's all we don't have no machine behind us that can, you know, we put it word on. So I say that to say, like, we know a lot of people. So, you know, they know us. They know who we are already beyond any of this. They know we're good people. So I don't think anybody ever would question, you know, because, you know, it doesn't do anything for us. You know, it's not going to help me get I already coached high school. I've coached college before. This isn't me sending a kid and helping the kid out get better. That's not about to make me look good. So now somebody's going to hire me or something like that. No, I was already good. Mike's good. If Mike wants to go get a high school coaching job, he could go get one, So they know us, it's nothing that we could really benefit from, I don't think. Nah.
Yeah. Well, and I had to ask the question because people always talk about AAU, and I just wonder if y'all ever encountered any apprehension from the parents of the kids that's joining the league.
They know it's all love. It's all love from us.
It's hard, for real.
We don't want anything.
Yeah. All right. So, is there anything you would like to bring up to me and for the audience that y'all got going on in the future, or what to look out for? What's your social media so they can find y'all?
Michael Hanna on Facebook. You can follow our Instagram page at Juuphe, JUUPHE _.
Yep. And we got a Facebook as well, Juuphe Facebook, and Greg Montgomery on Facebook for my personal. But you said future, the Winter League coming up in November. Probably have some men's events.
Yes. Stay tuned. All the older 18 and up, we'll get back to having like a men's tournament, a men's league. Right now, we've been solely focusing on the kids. That's where we're at right now. But we're gonna get back to it maybe sometime in the springtime or next summer. We're gonna have something for the older guys. So stay tuned.
Mentoring program. We probably try and get that rolling. Probably start with some events. We're gonna be at the football games on Friday. So I feel like that's something that we could do. So probably put some word out about that real soon. Trying to get some kids together to go watch some games and stuff like that.
All right. Thank you all for joining the show. And thank you all for listening and watching the CB Baker Show. This is your host, CB Baker. Till next time.
Appreciate you.